This is Secret America with your hosts, Jack Danger and James Clary.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Jack Danger, along with the beautiful James Clary. I love to see the smile. Come on, James. Where is it? I haven't seen it all day. There we go. That's what I like to see.
What's up? What's up?
It's great to be here, man. It's great to be here with you. But I wanted to tell everybody real quick that we were not able to stream on @Secret America TV tonight because one thing they failed to mention is that it has to be a premium account. I guess you got to pay the extra $8, $10, $11 a month to stream on that, whatever it is. So we're going to work on that, put it on there. That way we can stream it on our
I'll pay it. It'll be there next week.
Okay. We'll get it taken care of. James is a good man. He'll get it taken care of. We'll do it
Absolutely.
one way or the other. We'll get it on there. But so what I wanted to talk about first, James, and I don't know how many people have actually heard about this, but there was an off-duty NYPD officer that tried to get into the Ryder Cup golf tournament, right? And he posed as Trump's security. He was wearing a full getup. He was off duty. He was wearing his full NYPD getup. He had the gun on his hip. And guess what, James? They let him in. He got in. He got all the way in there. He could have struck and killed Trump at any moment if he wanted. You know how they found out about him? He pulled out a clip. He was getting ready to put a clip in his gun. He dropped it. That's how they found out about him.
Wow.
Did he not drop that clip? Who knows what would have happened to Trump? I mean, what kind of security is that? They don't vet anybody. Somebody comes up there with, just a get up on. I mean, there's people out there that can have fake NYPD get ups on, but that dude's got a gun on his hip and they don't vet him. Oh, we're going to let you right in. Yeah, Trump's right over there. We believe you. You're Trump security.
That's just insane. I'm so disappointed in our Secret Service, man. You know, if Trump's going to be somewhere, I know the Ryder Cup's a big event. You know, Trump loves golf. I'm glad he's going, but this is another failure by the Secret Service.
And a big one at that. That could have been catastrophic. I mean, imagine now if somebody gets the idea to pose as a Secret Service officer.
It's disgusting. And you know what? We probably won't get any answers. You know, somebody will get a memo sent to them. But, I mean, there needs to be a full investigation. We need to find out exactly what happened, who screwed up, which is the theme of my stuff tonight. I've had it up to here with the lack of action in this administration.
Good, that's what I like to hear.
I mean, we're both Trump guys. We both voted for him 3 times. I told you I drove to the rally 22 hours by myself in November of 2019.
And you were going to be in January 6th too.
Yep, I had reservations. I had to cancel at the last minute. I told you my hotel. It was so late that I couldn't cancel my hotel room. I literally had to pay for it. I'm surprised they didn't come get
you just for having a reservation.
No, I know. Believe me, I thought of it because my name was on a room in D.C. by the rally, but, there was 1 million, 2 million people there, but
they went after everyone, though, every single one of them.
Did you hear any of Pam Bondi's hearing?
I heard some of it, and actually, believe it or not, she did pretty well in terms of talking back to them, but she didn't actually accomplish anything.
Well, yeah, she was given. I got a fan on. Hang on, I got to turn it off.
You're fine.
It was obvious that she was given talking points, like when White House questioned her, these Democrats, she had a snappy comeback. Like, well, you're asking me about Epstein, but you took money from Reid Hoffman. The problem is, Jack, she didn't answer any freaking questions.
No, she did not.
Look, I have zero respect for every Democrat senator, and they're disgusting, and most of the Republicans as
Yeah,
well.
definitely.
The Senate, they're the most entitled, arrogant, full of themselves body in our government. But the Senate Judiciary Committee is responsible for oversight. We elect those guys to oversee certain aspects of the government. And both the GOP and the Democrats, Pam Bondi didn't answer any questions.
Nothing. I mean, I did. Don't get me wrong. I like the way that she fought back. I like the way they fought back. She fought back anyway.
Yeah.
But she didn't. You're right. She didn't answer any questions. She just sidestepped everything. And I want to say something real quick. Casey right here put -100 for Jack just because. Last night we were in the Are You Smarter Than a Politician game show. It was a lot of fun. Casey,
it was
one of the people that's a regular there. So, and Free and Terry, they host the show. It was a lot of fun, and that's what he's doing with there because the chat controls the score in that show. It's called Are You Smarter Than a Politician? Be sure to check it out Tuesdays and Fridays. Excellent show, 8 p.m.
It is great, but Jack, we talked before we came on. We both feel like it's too long.
It goes deep into the night on a Tuesday. I'll tell you, on a Friday, it's not that bad.
Right.
You can drink, but on a Tuesday, yeah, man, I got to get
No, I agree. I could do the 2 hours on Friday, but 2 hours on a Tuesday when I've got to get up early. I'm an old man. I'm in bed by 9 o'clock for crying out loud. But all right, so we're talking about Bond. First of all, Pam Bondi's dumb as a rock. I have been watching interviews with her. She's just not smart. I'm honestly, I think she's in way over her head. She needs to go. But we even talked about it on the show Are You Smarter Than a Politician last night about the lack of justice. Now, I don't know, that one of the biggest things when Trump first got elected was obviously the Epstein files, right? And it was horribly mishandled, first by Bondi, then it was mishandled by Trump. When he was asked about it, his answer, and I'm paraphrasing, was something like, are you guys still talking about that thing? Like, who cares, right? Of course, all of MAGA cares. Now, I don't know, did you see this new report by this reporter, Michael Wolff?
What is it?
Michael Wolff, and you can look it up on X or YouTube, anywhere, but he claims that Jeffrey Epstein showed him some pictures that he was personally at Jeffrey Epstein's Florida home, and that he went into his safe and he pulled out several pictures and spread them on the table, and he was laughing about it. And they were pictures of Donald Trump with young appearing. We don't know the age of the girls, but they were topless. And I hope this isn't too graphic, but in one of the pictures, Trump had a big stain on the front of his pants, and these topless young girls were laughing and pointing to the stain on Trump's pants. Now, this Michael Wolff is I started to say respected
trustworthy
journalist.
person. Do you know anything about him?
I did. I mean, I looked him up. He's written books on Trump. He's obviously a leftist.
Are they negative books?
Yeah. I mean, he's not like a center right guy or anything. I mean, he went to Columbia, if that tells you anything, He went to Columbia. He worked for the New York Times, and then he worked for New York Times Magazine. He is a contributor to Vanity Fair, USA Today, all the usual suspects. He's known for combining insider gossip with reported detail. Yeah, he wrote a book called Fire and Fury Inside the Trump White House. It was kind of a behind the scenes and, kind of portrayed Trump's first term as chaotic, which it was. Now, I don't know if we can believe this story or not, but when you add it to the fact that Trump and his administration promised to release the information on the Epstein files, specifically the client list. Pam Bondi was asked flat out, is there a client list for Jeffrey Epstein? Yes, it's on my desk waiting for review. That was her answer. Then when Trump, a week later, says, Epstein, you're talking about Epstein? I mean, it was such an obvious lie. I'm just going to call it what it is. It was a lie. It's a cover-up. And then they promised, they being Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, to release other stuff. Nothing's been released other than meaningless information. And Jack, this worries me significantly.
I mean, it is definitely worrisome. The problem is, though, it's hard to trust somebody, especially when they're saying they saw something. It's third-hand information from somebody that can't refute it, somebody that's dead. That's why it's hard for me to trust it, especially when you look at the other evidence where nobody, where supposedly he kicked Epstein out of his house, kicked him off of Mar-a-Lago. Supposedly, none of the witnesses have said anything about Trump. In fact, even Ghislaine Maxwell said Trump had nothing to do with the stuff. So, it's impossible to ever know the actual truth. What Green Eye says right here is true. We will never know the truth about the Epstein. There's so much misinformation out there. You can't trust anything that comes out.
Well, so Pam Bondi, I should have told you to pull this clip because it's pretty amazing. One of the Democrat senators asked her specifically about these photos. Mm-hmm. She wouldn't answer. She didn't answer yes. She didn't answer no.
Well, she didn't answer anyway.
She literally stayed silent. And he said, okay. So you're not going to talk to me about this? You don't know anything about it? Stayed silent, which is really weird. Just say no. I don't know what you're talking about. These photos, they're crazy. Now, another question to her was, who gave the order to flag Donald Trump's name in the Epstein files? Apparently it was leaked that an order was given to go through these files, and anytime Trump was mentioned, to flag it, which, I would see why you'd want to do that. Yeah. And it's not unusual that Trump knew Epstein. We know they were friends for a long time, and Trump got rid of him at a certain point. But and look, the topless girls and Trump wouldn't surprise me a bit. I mean, he was a major playboy. Come on, he was the playboy in New York City, and he's running around with another playboy. I don't think Trump ever did anything illegal with underage girls. I'm going to state that absolutely, but I think they're covering something up, Jack.
I agree on both. They may be covering something up. That's very much a possibility. But I also don't believe Trump is attracted to little kids. I mean, it just doesn't. You can get that kind of aura from somebody. When somebody's attracted to little kids, you can almost feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Epstein's now and that's kind of a misnomer. Epstein wasn't into little kids. He didn't do little kids.
No.
He did like 16, 17-year-old girls.
Yeah, but some of them were as young as 12. I mean, it goes pretty deep. But yeah, it wasn't into little kids, obviously. But I mean, like you said, I don't think Trump ever did anything like that. But I will say that the people that tried to bring him down, like a Jack Smith, right? You've seen what they're doing to him. I mean, I'm hoping this is what's going to happen. But you remember how they spied on Trump's campaign?
Yeah.
How they did that whole thing? Now, Jack Smith apparently spied on 8 different Senate Republicans' communications. I'm talking actual congressional and private communications for Senate Republicans without a warrant, apparently, just doing it just because he could, because he was a special prosecutor that had like unlimited power to do whatever he wanted, or so he thought. And now I'm hoping that they go through with this, but you know how spineless the Republicans are. They're trying to disbar him. But I don't think that's going far enough. What good is disbarring somebody that really doesn't have any future in law anyway, James? What are they going to do?
No, I know. Well, let's go through this. I'm really at a point where I'm just pissed off. I mean, I'm really, really disappointed in this administration. And I think Pam Bondi's part of it, but Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. Look, all right. I'm just going to go through this. Epstein, we've talked about. The client list. She said there was a client list. COVID, the virus origin and the funding, and then the mismanagement after the virus hit. We've got nothing on that. Nothing, even though we know people have done reports that the U.S. Department of Defense paid for the funding. The Roe Dobbs leak. Did you know apparently the FBI has reallocated resources to investigate the leak? Now, I didn't know that. I started doing some research before the show. Now, the Supreme Court did their own internal investigation. Roberts knows who the leaker is, and Roberts was probably stonewalling the FBI. But the FBI has said publicly that they have allocated resource investigation. Cocaine in the White House. They said they had DNA. We know nothing about it. The Butler assassination. We know nothing about Thomas Crook's communications. He had 3 phones. He was communicating with foreign countries. Why don't we know anything about that? And of course, the latest one, and I'm the one that pulled you off the damn roof as far as conspiracies, is Charlie Kirk. And the longer this goes on, that this single story, that this gay furry did it all alone with no help, I'm calling bullshit on that as well.
Did you hear some of the crazy now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to denigrate anybody, but Candace Owens and some of the shit that she's coming out with is absolutely insane. What happened to this woman? I used to trust her. She used to be good at what she was doing, but some of the shit she's coming out with is absolutely insane. Now, don't get me wrong. Not everything is incorrect.
What specifically?
Well, I mean, it all has to do with, first of all, it all has to do with her. Oh, Charlie was going to bring me back. That's why they hated him. They wanted him dead because he's going to go against Israel. He said, but yet 24 hours prior, he was apparently praising Israel. Now she's saying that Israel killed Charlie because he was going to go against them. They were his major donors.
She's never claimed that. I'm going to stick up for her. She's never claimed that Israel killed him.
Have you watched the videos? I
watch every one of her shows, bro.
She said that he was going to go against Israel, or he was done with Israel. That's what it was. He was done with Israel, and that he was going to bring her back.
Have you read the texts that were released?
The text, I don't know if those are real. That's the problem.
No, Andrew Colvett, the CEO of TPUSO, confirmed it. He's the one that released it. And yes, he said those texts are real. I released them. I gave them to someone else, and somebody leaked it to Candace.
How did he get these texts?
Andrew Colvett was in the text string.
He was in the text. I got to look at this thing.
Look, here it is. I'm going to read it to you. Okay. Charlie Kirk says, just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Someone else says, ugh, to that. Charlie then says, Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this. Listen to this, Jack. Leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. That
sounds too convenient, man. That's too convenient to me.
So you're saying Andrew Colvett, the president of TPUSA, who confirmed that this was a real text string, he made that up?
I don't know.
Look, no sense.
All I can say is I don't know about the text. I can just say it just sounds really freaking convenient that he was killed right after he supposedly.
The problem is, Jack, nothing personal, but you haven't followed this like I have. You didn't see the interview. You didn't see the interview that Charlie did with Megyn Kelly, where they went off on how they were both being treated by Jewish donors. Charlie said, Megyn, it's disgusting. He said, the text that I've received from some of my biggest donors, they're calling me an anti-Semite. They're pulling their money.
So what are you saying that Israel killed him because of it?
No.
What is she saying? What is she saying then?
All we're trying to say, and what she's saying is, let me finish reading this. The last one is, please don't invite Candace. This might feel good short term, but it's not good long term, in my opinion. Like all groups, you're going to get a wide variety of opinions. That nasty free thing will make God bestow. So
see, these texts only matter if she thinks Israel killed him or a Jewish person killed him. Otherwise, the texts don't matter.
Well, I think it matters just forget the assassination. It matters for framing how Charlie really felt. There is some funny stuff going on.
But she brought those into the assassination. It was her that brought those texts into the assassination.
Well, if there was a conspiracy, I'm saying if there was a
Mhm.
conspiracy, I would put at the top of my list Mossad.
Oh, of course. I mean, I would have thought that before the text. I mean,
So
they were
why-
his security. Come on.
Well, I don't know about that, but I do know.
I heard that Mossad agents were actually he had Israeli security.
Charlie loved Israel. He was one of those Christians that believed that Jewish people were God's chosen people. He totally believed in Israel's right to exist, as I do, and their right to defend themselves. He had a problem with certain donors, and it wasn't all of them either. It was just certain ones that wanted him to do a pro Bibi Netanyahu and a pro what's happening in Gaza. The problem was the people that he spoke to every day, the younger people. If you did a poll, GOP or Democrat, it's about 70-30 against Israel and people 30 and younger.
That was Charlie's problem, though. See,
Right.
Charlie's problem was his donors wanted him to do one thing, but his constituents and his donors are not the same thing.
Right.
His donors wanted him to do one thing. His constituents didn't believe the thing that they wanted him to do.
Yeah.
So he's kind of at an impasse in the middle of this thing. But see, again, these texts to me only matter if you think they killed him. Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, you're right. They don't matter. But if there was a conspiracy, then you build the evidence piece by piece. This
Based
would
on
just
the text would be top of the chain right there.
Now, here's something interesting. You know when those texts were made? 48 hours before he was killed. So he says, I'm what was it? He said, it leaves me no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel position. That is a powerful statement.
And then he's dead 48 hours later.
48 hours later.
Real quick, I do want to say, and I'm man enough to admit when I was wrong. I will apologize to Candace Owens because she said before these text messages were released, she said that he was going to abandon his thing 48 hours before he was killed. He said he was going to abandon the pro-Israel cause and that he was going to bring her back. Now, the thing that I find suspicious, though, Andrew, I don't know if he's a fan of Candace, but I know Turning Point in general did not want Candace back. And I will say it's weird that Andrew released these text messages to kind of bolster Candace's position. That's all.
No. You got it wrong. He released it to law enforcement.
Why?
As part of the investigation, from what he said. Somebody else leaked it to her. He didn't get it to her.
He didn't leak it to her?
No. But he did confirm that they were real.
Why would he do that?
Well, why should he have lied about it?
I would have kept quiet. I would have just been like, Candace Owens, it's, whatever.
No, because people have questions, dude. This is that text string, what Charlie is abandoning the pro-Israel. That is a huge statement.
It's
people
powerful.
People have questions, and look, Andrew's feeling the heat. So is Erica Kirk. I don't believe everything that, you are the one that tried to tell me at the beginning that this was a conspiracy. It wasn't this guy. And I was like, no, let's wait. I was the wet towel, saying, no, Jack, come on. The FBI's got this, but they haven't done shit.
Man, it seems like everything's a conspiracy these days, though. You
I know.
Throw a rock, you're going to hit a conspiracy.
Right. Where's Tyler Robinson's roommate, the little furry fag?
And apparently he changed clothes. They said he was not wearing whatever that was happening on the roof. It's not the same person, not wearing the same thing. Didn't make any sense. And
the timeline,
like an hour later or something.
The timeline is totally fucked up. And then probably the biggest thing in my mind is, why the hell didn't they rope that off as a crime scene? Did you know they never did that? There was never any crime scene tape. And immediately after he shot, and I'll stop just a second, the TPUSA guy pulls an SD card from the camera behind Charlie.
And they cleaned the roof.
Yes!
FBI cleaned the roof. There were impressions. Of his knees, elbows, hands on the roof. The FBI cleaned it just like they did at Butler right after the crime.
I know.
I'm telling you, Tyler Robinson was a patsy, and you'll never be able to convince me otherwise. The man was in front of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was shot from the side.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And that's another thing, man. I've shot a 30-06, bro. It'll blow a hole through a 40-inch oak tree. You know,
That
that would
far away,
almost,
you think it's not going to go through his neck? It's going to get stuck in the neck. No.
it would take his head off almost. And that really, you know, I'm no expert, but you're right. It doesn't look like an entrance wound to me at all. It looks like an exit wound.
It does, doesn't it? It looks like, but there's no entrance wound on this side.
I
That's
know.
what's like, whoa.
I know. They're saying that the bullet lodged in his spine and every, I mean, look,
A 30-06
General Flynn. General Flynn is out questioning this right now. It's not like we're crazy conspiracists. General Flynn is like, hey, this investigation doesn't make any sense at all. I've talked to ballistic experts, firearm experts. They're saying the story the FBI is telling us just doesn't make sense.
No, and there's been excellent. If you go look out there, there are people that have analyzed this from every angle, people that have actually had drones flying over. There are some excellent things out there that will really make you think. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some insane shit too, but there's some excellent stuff out there that will really make you think. And like Green Eyes said, everyone should be questioning this. Because I am so sick of the lone wolf theory, the Lee Harvey Oswald joint. It doesn't make any sense. The man, a 30-06 bullet, first of all, that was definitely an exit wound. Second of all, it's not going to get stuck in his neck. It would have broke his spine in half. And third of all, from that far away, there's no way it just gets stuck in the neck from that far away. It just doesn't happen. He would have a peach-sized hole.
I mean, the further away it is, the bullet loses velocity.
I know it does, but see, when it's coming, it's only 200 yards away. It's not far enough to lose any velocity, you know. And usually, the further you are, the bigger hole. The exit wound. I mean, but that exit wound was this small too.
Yeah, it's really weird, but
there was no entrance wound.
No, I know. So yes, we need, Green Eyes is right. We need to keep questioning it. And when I'm glad to see people like Michael Flynn, and you know what? I'm glad Candace is doing it. The thing is, she's been painted as batshit crazy. But I look at the people that are saying that, and I'm looking for specifics. Okay, what specifically has she said that you disagree with? Nothing, nada. They're not giving specifics. So I kind of have to take that argument and say, until you start tearing down what because she's very careful about what she says. Like I said, she's never said the Jews killed him. She's just making the point that, you know, Charlie stated publicly he's going to abandon the pro-Israel position. 48 hours, he's dead by a gay furry. So, you know.
Did you see the picture of the furry with the hands furries. And the thing on its head? How can people take that seriously? What kind of world do we live in where they take? Did you know there are schools out there that have litter boxes for some kids that pretend to be furries to piss in the litter box?
Yeah, that was an urban myth. I looked.
No. It was a myth. At first, it was fake as hell. But there is a school in Utah. I will look it up. I will find it for you. I saw a picture of it. Now, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if a kid placed it there and then took a picture of it. I don't know that.
Yeah, it could be.
But I can tell you that I saw it in the school.
Well, the furries. I told you I was working at a restaurant and a group of 30 came in one night. It's pretty weird, man. And at the time I had no idea, and I didn't realize it's all tied up with this crazy homoeroticism.
Transgender, it's all together, man. That's why the LGBTQ 26 letter thing, you know, one of those is furries. F for furries. F for okay. Anyways,
and you know what? I'm glad we're calling out perversion. It's time to bring some shame back to our society. You know, you see these gay parades with the guys, you know, with their ass showing and leather, whipping some guy dressed like a dog with a mask on.
Tell me, James, God. I got to ask you a question for real. What does excuse my language for a moment. You guys can mute it or something if you want to for 2 seconds. What does a man fucking another man in the ass? Why is that a reason to celebrate? Why is that a reason to have a parade? Hey, I fuck guys in the ass. Let me have a parade. It doesn't make any damn sense to me. Why are we parading this shit? I don't care what you do, but I mean, what?
One of the most viral tweets I ever made, I think I just said something like, why we celebrating or interested in what people do in their bedrooms. It's a private matter. Just leave it. No problem if you want to do that with another guy. I find it dusting, but that's okay. That's your deal. Just don't parade it and make us accept it.
That's the
as
thing.
if
They
it's
shove it
normal.
down your throat.
We're not going to.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? When did a sexual orientation become part of your identity? When did that become what you want to be known for? Hey, I'm the gay. Let me have my own national holiday because I fucked this man in the ass. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's
our country is so backwards right now.
Well, and
Anyways,
that's the good part about the Trump administration.
Yes.
We have made some progress in some of these social areas that the left has owned, but
they're tearing up the transgender walks. Did you see that? I like the whole rainbow walks. They actually got dump trucks out there tearing them up with tractors and stuff. They're removing the Black Lives Matter, all the rainbow shit on the roads because honestly, that is what do you call it? What is
divisive?
Divisive. Yeah, it's absolutely divisive, but it's also the opposite of inclusive because it doesn't include straight people. It doesn't include white people. It's not inclusive. It is the opposite. Whatever the hell the opposite of inclusive is.
Divisive. And that's identity politics in its very nature is divisive.
But what do you think? This is the thing I really wanted to get your opinion on, James. What do you think about the Islamic takeover of America? Look at Dearborn, Michigan. Okay, right now in Europe, almost every single major city has a Muslim mayor. Okay, right now we're about to get a Muslim communist mayor in New York. Dearborn, a city in America, is majority Muslim. Now, don't get me wrong. Muslim is supposed to be the peaceful religion, but let me tell you a little secret that most people don't know. Muslim is the peaceful religion when they are the minority. When they are the majority, that's when Islamic law comes into play. That's when anger comes into play. That's when force comes into play. Whenever you see Muslims, if they don't have numbers, they're usually calm and peaceful. But when you see a bunch of them together, they want to force you into their beliefs. And I don't understand that part, James. You've seen what's going on around America, right? I don't understand that part. Did you see in Dearborn, Michigan, they are doing the Muslim call to prayer at 5:30 a.m. They are blasting it on all the horns around the city. They don't let Christians do that, but I'll be damned if you tell a Muslim they can't do it.
Well, we were talking last night on that show about, the Marxists take over our country. I think this is a much more real threat. Here's the other thing. I saw an interview with a Muslim guy. He said, look, we're having 8 to 14 children. How many are you white people having? He said in 50 years, we will surpass all populations in the United States, and you will be a Muslim country. And they've already succeeded in Europe. And quite frankly, I'm not sure what we can do to stop it other than you guys, you ladies out there, and you men start breeding, have kids for crying out loud.
The problem is in the Muslim religion, they can force their wives to have kids. They can force them to have as many kids as they want, and they do. The thing is, when they do that, they also have in the Muslim religion, it's pretty much like a communist religion where everybody shares everything. So, this guy who might be rich can help this guy who has 8 Muslim kids. So he can afford to have all those kids because he'll get help from the mosques and the Muslim communities. We don't help each other for one. You got to go on welfare if you got 5 kids. But the main thing is they are taking, and you're right, it is much bigger than the communist takeover right now because the Muslims are multiplying by numbers I have never seen before. I mean, they have taken over the UK. Now, don't get me wrong. The UK doesn't have the strength to enforce their constitution the way we do. We have been enforcing our constitution. But let me tell you, James, if enough Muslims take over areas in America, they can change the constitution. The constitution can be changed. People seem to think that it's written in stone. Oh, no. They can change it to where Sharia law is the law if they get enough people. And let me tell you, in 50 years, James, they will have enough people.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a problem. And I have no idea what the solution is other than the fact, immigration is a big part of it, and I mean, huge. Trump has shut down the border, thank God. But I mean, how many of the 20 million that came in under Biden were Muslim?
Did you see what happened in Japan? I love Japan. Okay.
Oh, I know.
So 20,000 Africans moved to Japan, right? In the immigration thing. And Japan, they were like, oh, hell no, we're not having this shit. So what they did, they elected just now the most hardlined immigration person I have ever seen. He is going to make sure they leave and that nobody comes back in. Japan did it right.
No, yeah, Japan will not allow foreigners to dilute their culture. They've been that way for 1,000 years. You know, the Europeans tried, you know, did you ever read the book Shogun or watch the great television series that was made out of it? It was one of the best books I've ever read by James Clavell. You know, it was back in the 1800s, and the Dutch and the English were trying to get into trade with Japan, and they're like, no thanks. You guys just stay away. You know, I mean, look what they did, what a powerhouse they were in World War II. It was only the atomic bomb that really beat them. I mean, we would have beaten them, but my God, this little island gave us the fight for our life. And they're pure. The Japanese culture is pure. It's what a lot of people really admire them.
I mean, you're right. And that's the best part about them. They've always been willing. I mean, hell, in World War II, they were willing to do kamikaze missions where they killed themselves to kill, you know, Americans and others that they were fighting against. That's how much honor they had for their country. You know, they were willing to die for that. I mean, actual kamikaze missions where they rammed their plane while they were flying into ships and shit. That's how much their culture means to them. America is not willing to fight for our culture, and I'll tell you why. It's because the media is what rules America, James. And the media can make you feel guilty. The media pulls out the white guilt. They pull out the Islamophobia. They pull out the, oh, you're racist. That's the whole point of all this. That's the whole point. And if you can get enough people in, James, you can change anything.
No, it's true. I mean, it is scary. I mean, all we have to do is let's see what happens in this election in New York. I know you and I will be keeping an eye on it for sure, but the people are so stupid.
And all of them are going to vote for him. They're going to vote for him.
Well, why couldn't the Democrats come up with anybody to, you know, challenge this guy?
They came up with Andrew Cuomo, the grandma killer. Are you kidding me?
No, I know.
The grandma killer.
I know.
I just don't get it. But I will tell you one thing, James. I love what Donald Trump is doing. I don't give a damn if it pisses off people or not. I love that he's sending Texas National Guard troops into Chicago. I love it. And I love that the mayor, first of all, I love that Trump today called for the arrest of the Chicago mayor and the Illinois governor. He said they should be arrested and jailed. And he's right. These people allowed, and the chief of police of I believe it's Portland or Chicago, one of the, I can't remember. Portland. He should be arrested also. He actually told his officers not to go to the aid of ICE officers that were in trouble. These are federal officers, and the police, that guy should be arrested immediately.
Well,
police officers should be arrested.
On that particular story, let me drill down a little bit. It was even worse than that, Jack. It wasn't ICE officers that were in trouble. It was a counter protester. A guy came out to counter the protest, you know, the Antifa people, and was saying USA, whatever, and they surrounded him. So ICE called the Portland police and said, you've got a citizen that's being attacked, and they turned it down. The chief of police said no units will respond.
He should be arrested.
It's unconscionable.
And what I don't understand is, all right, now, say you're Trump, James. Let's say that you're Trump. You're not going to be elected again in 2028, so you don't have to worry about popular opinion. You don't have to worry about anything. Why not use your Insurrection Act? Why not use all the tools you have at your disposal and say, F these mayors, F these governors. I'm going to arrest every single one of them that impede a federal operation because that's illegal. Obstruction of justice. I'm arresting Brandon Johnson. I'm arresting J.B. Pritzker. I'm arresting all of them, including the lieutenant governor of Illinois, who said that if J.B. Pritzker is arrested, she was going to continue to do exactly what he was doing. I'd have her arrested also. I mean, this is your chance. You want to be known for something in history? Clean up America, whether the Democrats want it or not. If you can clean up America, and get rid of the Democrats at the same time, man, that would be beautiful.
Well, the Democrats are making their own bed. I mean, their
When are
polling
they
is
ever going
so
to sleep in it, though,
horrible.
man? They never have to sleep in it. That's the problem.
Well, I know. I think, come on, you and I have talked about it. We need
I
a
know.
national divorce. Let these blue states and blue cities live by themselves. Just
Are you
get
kidding me?
rid of them.
Give them California. Give them New York. They can have Colorado.
Illinois.
They can have Ohio, Illinois, Oregon, Washington. They can have those states. Let us have, tell you what, we'll take the South and the Southeast. They can have the West and the Northwest. And then we'll split, the North. They can have New York up. We'll have Rhode Island down. And, that's it. That'd be good enough for me. I don't want to. We just need to break up into different countries. Maybe each state needs to be its own country. We have a governor who could be the president. We have mayors who could be, the governors of their own cities. Why don't we just break it up? Forget the United States. We're not the United States anymore because we're not united. We might as well just be the states,
Well,
what other country?
I don't know. I honestly,
states,
I don't know
James?
what the answer. The problem with your theory, and there's a part of me love to see it. Rah, go in there and kick some ass. But they're already painting Trump as a fascist authoritarianism. If he used the military to and you can't. I don't want him to do that. I mean, posse comitatus has some meaning, but he can, and he's doing. Let's see what happens in
he
Chicago.
Doesn't have to worry about how they're painting him, though, because he doesn't have to.
No, I know. The president has the authority to protect federal employees of any sort, ICE or anyone, and to protect federal properties, which all these immigration centers are. And he can use whatever force is needed to protect those people. And I think he's sending in swarms of DEA, ATF, FBI, and they can make arrests, unlike the ICE guys. And they have been arresting quite a few people. I think in Portland, they said they arrested 1,000 people.
They've been arrested.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. It was, I think it was it? Yeah, it was Chicago. Sorry. They made 1,000 arrests of illegals. And I was watching a podcast where they were naming off some of these great people. There were child rapists, many domestic abusers. I mean, these were horrible people. And I don't give a damn if one of them's a grandma that's making pupusas at a restaurant. If she's here illegally, you're going home, chica.
That's exactly how it should be.
Vámonos! Vámonos!
All of them. I mean, you should be able to take them all. Take the whole group, get them out of here. But see, the thing is, we're not doing that to the Muslims. We're only doing it to the South and Central America people, and the Muslims are taking over, man, and that's the problem. But let's go back to that federal thing real quick. The supremacy clause says that the federal has more power than the states. Federal can go in. Let me tell you this: a state law cannot. If a state law conflicts with a federal law, the federal law is what is in effect. The federal law is the supreme law. If he wants to, he can declare martial law. He can go in there and get those things done. And honestly, if we did the national divorce thing, I mean, what other country, James, what other country in the world has separate states? Is there another country that's divided by states?
Well, not by states necessarily, but I mean, you've seen a lot of countries like, look what happened in Serbia. Look what happened in the Soviet Union. Now the former Soviet Union is like 15 different countries. So, I mean, it's not unheard of. But in those cases, particularly in Eastern Europe, you had certain ethnic groups that made up that area. It's what's going on in Ukraine. In the Donbass, you've got mainly Russian-speaking people living there. That's why they wanted to leave. It's what started this whole effing war.
Well, instead of
here,
why don't we do political?
Every state has a mix of different people. That's why it'd be hard. I mean, Missouri is a red state, but you go to St. Louis or Kansas City, it's very liberal.
Yeah, but I mean, if we say we separated them all, right? We separated them all. Each country or each state can be its own country, do whatever the hell it wants to do. And, if you're in the blue states like California and New York that are mostly blue, I mean, people can go to there. But see, the thing is, they can't dictate what we do. You know what I mean? Like federal law can no longer dictate what we do in our state. And that's the way I like. Here in North Carolina, we have a Republican supermajority where
Right.
we can actually enact laws despite our Democrat governor.
How did that happen?
The Democrat, there had to be a cheating. It had to be cheating. Trump won our state. We have a supermajority in the House and the Assembly,
Senate.
the whole General Assembly, the
Yeah.
House and the Senate of North Carolina. We have a supermajority where we can override his vetoes, the governor's vetoes. So how the hell do we get a Democrat governor? Your guess is as good as mine.
Same thing happened in Arizona and many other states where Trump won the election. GOP officials won up and down the ballot, and then Katie Hobbs is reelected.
Well, Katie
in
Hobbs
Arizona.
certified her own election.
No, I
She
know.
actually was the one that counted her own ballots.
Right.
What is that?
It's just ridiculous, man.
I tell you, if I was Secretary of State, I would be running for governor, and I can promise you I'd count my own ballots too. I mean, how the Secretary of State is responsible for certifying the election in their state. She's
Right.
running for governor and certifying her own win. What is that?
Yeah, and the problem with the election issue, we know the 2020 election was fraudulent. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I'm glad we've talked about it many times. I'm glad it worked out the way it did. It gave Trump 4 more years to prepare for this time. But how are we going to fix the elections? Because they're fraudulent, and it's up to the states. It's not a federal thing. Now, one thing Trump has done, he's doing everything he can. One of the things he's done, he's ordered that, because he has this power, because the executive branch is responsible for immigration, he's ordered that illegal immigrants be taken off all states' voter rolls. And he's getting pushback. Of course, these states are filing lawsuits trying to challenge that executive order, which just, you want illegals on your voting rolls.
Oh, yeah. See, the thing is, nowadays, what they've done is they've got all the mentally ill people on their side. So nowadays, whatever they say, I mean, that's the God's honest truth.
I know.
Nowadays, whatever they say, James, they can say the most outrageous things. These people are still going to be on their side because they hate Trump so much, because the media has blasted them with so much Trump hate propaganda that it's ingrained into their mind. So no matter what the Democrats do, the Democrats could actually go around killing liberals. They could go around shooting liberals in the head on live television. The liberals would still vote for them over Donald Trump because it is so ingrained in their mind.
Yeah, you're right. It's insane. I mean, look at the hatred that they have for this man. Really, why do you think they did it, Jack? Let's talk about that. Okay, we know Donald Trump was basically a Democrat most of his life. He was loved by the Black community, by all these celebrities. Is it because he challenged the establishment? I think that's what it was.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah. It's because when he ran, before he started running in 2015, 2014, he started to challenge things. That's why he switched to Republican. I want to say in the late 80s or early 90s, I forget. But that's why he switched to Republican, because he saw the way things were headed. Then he started challenging them out loud. And when you challenge the system, especially when there's nobody else in there fighting against the system, he started the fight against the system. Before that, it was entire uniparty and deep state, the entire. So that's why they used all their might to push the propaganda against it. And you want the truth? If you want to know the truth, James, Donald Trump is the reason the Smith-Mundt Act was amended.
Oh, I totally agree with that.
Barack Obama amended that so they could blast anti-Trump propaganda all over the media.
Well, and he was the first guy to outright publicly challenge the mainstream media in a way that nobody else ever had. Not just did he challenge them, he ridiculed them. Fake news. He made them feel small. And believe me, that pissed them off really bad.
Man, when he first started saying fake news, right? Nobody knew what he was talking about. They're like, "What are you talking about? Fake news?" But he knew that the shit they were reporting wasn't real. He opened everybody's eyes. Let's say it like this: he turned on the light. Now all the cockroaches are scattering. Okay?
I mean, a lot of people knew. I knew.
But it wasn't common knowledge.
back in 2004 that George Bush and his administration completely lied to me about 9/11 and that the media was involved in this cover up. I knew that the media was involved in the cover up of the JFK, but every president, when they got elected, they just went along, including Obama. We thought Obama was going to be a real change agent. Remember? I voted for him. So did you, if I remember right, in 2008, right?
First time, yep.
Yeah, because you remember, that's right when the Tea Party started. We were so pissed at the George Bush administration and all the lying and the cheating. But none of these guys, Obama included, ever called out the media like Trump. And the media, you can add the intel agencies to that because they're one and the same, really.
Yeah, no, you're right. But that's exactly why Obama amended the Smith-Mundt Act, because he wanted propaganda to be able to be used domestically against Trump. Was the reason for so many things. He was the reason that was amended, that the Smith-Mundt Act was amended. He was the reason that so many things have happened, because when Trump got elected the first time, did you know at the beginning of the election, Hillary had a 97% chance to win that election?
Oh, yeah?
97%. So they didn't cheat as hard as they could have because they thought she was going to win. They still cheated, but not nearly as hard as they did in 2020. They knew Trump was going to win in 2020. But the reason that they're so pissed off at him, one, is because he opened everybody's eyes, the mainstream, but also he stopped their agenda. Trump, just by getting elected, stopped their agenda. Imagine if things had been different. What if Kamala Harris was president right now? What if that guy with the long hair in the Ulta Beauty ad with the beard and the long, what if he was the press secretary right now?
What if Hillary had won in 2016? I mean,
well, if Hillary had won,
I'd
tell you one thing, we'd be in some major wars right now, for one thing. And also, we would be responsible for probably killing tens of millions of innocent people all over the world. Is that a turtle?
Oh, absolutely. That's Claire.
Oh, it's a cat. I thought it was a turtle.
It's a turtle. Claire, you're a turtle. No, she's a devil cat, and she's trying to rip my cords out.
Oh, that's no good.
She's just a little kitten.
Hold her up. Let everybody see it.
All right. That's Claire. Now look at her paws. She's polydactyl. She has an extra toe. Can you see that?
Really?
Yeah, look at it there.
1, 2, 3. How many are they supposed to have?
5, and she's got 6.
Wow.
See how it looks like a big mitten almost?
Yeah. That's cool.
She's a good kitty. She's a crazy cat.
Yeah.
I got her to be friends with Bob, my other cat.
You named your cat Bob. That is so funny.
Bobcat.
Bobcat. There you go. I like that. Bobcat.
Yeah, man. Bobcat.
Well, it's good to have a good laugh and some kind of light.
Absolutely. There's too much dark shit going
Yeah.
on, man.
We talk about a lot of serious shit here. So, on the good side, I will say that, there are a lot of positive things. Because like I said, imagine if Kamala was our president right now. Instead, Trump, just by getting elected, has saved America for at least 4 years.
Yeah. Well, and let's hope, a lot of us think J.D. Vance could fill those shoes. I think he could be a better president, honestly.
I will tell you that Charlie Kirk was going to be my president. I was going to vote for him. He was going to be president one day.
Oh, I totally agree. He would have been president. It's just such a loss. But let's keep up the pressure on the Trump DOJ, man. Come on. We've got to get some movement on some of these issues. Tell us who took the coke in the White House. Why don't they release that? Tell us who leaked the Roe decision. Those aren't even big deals. I'm not asking to have a bunch of people indicted for COVID, although they should be.
They don't even talk about it.
I know.
Any of that shit. They don't even talk about it.
Not at all.
Whatever happened to people that had gay sex on the Senate Congress floor?
Yes.
What happened
to that? Ugh. That's
crazy
so disgusting. So disgusting. Well, my friend, any good scary horror movies for the Halloween you've seen?
I will tell you that, oh man, I love the original Michael Myers movies, the 1978 Jamie Lee Curtis joints. Those are so good, man. I'm talking about a guy stalking somebody. That's what really makes it, the suspense. Oh, man.
You know what I watched the other night's really good? I know everybody's seen The Shining, right? Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. What most people don't know, I read the book, and I was a little disappointed in the movie because he changed a lot from
I
the
hate
book.
the way it ended.
Yeah, but did you know that Stephen King was so pissed about the changes? And of course, we hate Stephen King. We know that.
Yeah.
But his work is great. He
Yeah.
wrote a screenplay for television, and you can rent it on Prime. It was a mini series, and I just watched it the other night. Yeah, it's The Shining as written by Stephen King in the book, and it's excellent. It's scary as hell. Yeah, and it's like $5 rental.
Death,
What's that?
It doesn't end with the freezing death, does it? That was so stupid.
No, that's not how he died in the book. That's the thing. And there wasn't a hedge maze in the book. I'll give you away one of the what it was. They were topiaries.
Don't tell me how he died. They were
hedges cut in animal shapes.
Oh, that's cool.
And they come to life.
Really? I've always now. I hate Stephen King as a person, but his work is awesome. I mean,
exceptional.
I can't lie. Pet Cemetery. I mean, are you kidding me? I love that shit. I mean, really, really good stuff.
Dude, I read Pet Cemetery when I was in a fraternity. I was alone in the basement of the fraternity house, and I read Pet Cemetery. That book scared the living hell out of me.
That is
so much scarier than the movies, too. They've tried to recreate it. The first movie was really bad. I don't know.
The original It. Oh, man, the original It.
Oh yeah. God. Now, the movie remakes of It were both pretty good, the recent ones, you know. But, yeah, It was great. The Stand, another great book. All
so
of
many
them.
good ones. But
Misery.
What's some Halloween movies you recommend for everybody out there? I mean, we're just ending the show on a good note, people. So that's why we're
I was just thinking, I'm so into that paranormal stuff, as you know. I'll tell you, if you want to get scared, watch a show called Paranormal Witness. And season 3, particularly, there's 5 seasons. Season 3, it had a different producer or something. There's a couple of those episodes that are terrifying because they're real life stuff. And another great paranormal series like that is called These Woods Are Haunted. Terrifying. Paranormal Witness is showing on Peacock right now, but you can rent episodes on Prime for sure. And These Woods Are Haunted. You probably should find it on Prime. I've got Discovery Plus primarily because of the true crime and the paranormal shows, and all those are on Discovery Plus. But
I grew up. Go ahead.
She just said Lucy. I don't even know that.
That's about a woman that has so much intelligence. I think she takes some kind of drug that makes her so intelligent that she can do shit with her mind that other people can't. I think that's what that is. I could be wrong.
Right. I'll look it up.
But I will say something that's really good, and I'm a 90s person. You know, I was a 90s kid. I grew up in the 90s. I love the original Scream movie.
Yeah.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. The original I Know What You Did Last Summer. You know, all of these movies that were good 90s horror movies, you know? Good stuff.
Yeah,
man.
oh, absolutely.
If you've never seen the first Scream, it's awesome because you don't know who the killer is. You might think it's this person, then you think it's that person. But if you don't know ahead of time who the killer is, it's really good. Really, really good.
All right. Well, I watched the 2010 version of the Wolfman the other night. That was pretty good. That wasn't bad. I grew up in the 60s, so
I'm surprised you don't like the original Halloweens then.
The Wolfman and Dracula and the original Frankenstein. That's the stuff in black and white. That's what I grew up with. By the way, Netflix with that, what's his name? Guillermo del Toro producing a new version of Frankenstein. It'll be out November 5th.
Very cool. I want to just a misconception real quick, just so people know, Frankenstein was not the monster. People seem to think that the monster was Frankenstein. No. He's the monster. Frankenstein was the doctor. Okay, people seem to get that, so I just want to clear that up real quick.
And as far as comedy goes, Young Frankenstein is one of the best. Have you
There
seen
are some
that?
good, there are just so many good. But I honestly, James, I don't know if you've seen the original Halloweens, but the one
Oh, of course.
they
Yeah.
run together. It's like one long movie, 1 and 2. So freaking
Well,
good.
and but the third Halloween was the goofiest. Remember
It
that
wasn't-
song? Remember
that
the
did not
song?
make any sense.
Did 3 more days to Halloween. Remember that?
He wasn't even in the Michael
No,
Myers was
I
not
know.
in the third Halloween. How was that even a Halloween movie?
Halloween 3 was so campy and
It was called The
corny and
Season of the
totally
Witch.
exactly. I actually kind of like it because of that song was hilarious.
You know how pissed off I was when I watched Halloween 1 and 2. I pop in Halloween 3. Michael Myers is not even in the freaking movie. I was like,
know.
what the hell is going on here? It was like a totally different movie in the middle of a series. Made no sense.
Well, Deb, we're going to check out Lucy. I'm going to check it out tonight. My girlfriend and I always discuss, what are you watching tonight? So I don't live with her, by the way. We don't live together. I know people find that odd. We've been together 15 years. We were both married for 30 years. We lived with, we have no desire to go back to that again. I love my freedom. I live alone with my 2 stray kitties. And
Bob.
Me and Bob. Bob and Claire. You know what Claire's real name was?
What?
Clary.
Clary, really?
My last name. That's why I was thinking about getting another cat.
That's right.
Yeah, I went to the shelter, or the shelter had a book and it had pictures and it said Clary. I'm like, are you kidding me? You've got a kitten with my last name. Okay, I guess God's talking to me. So
got to.
Yeah, well, we'll wrap it up on that, brother. It's good to see you as always.
Same to you.
Yep. You've been watching Secret America. Check us out at Secret America TV. I'm James Clary. He's Jack Danger. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to Secret America with Jack Danger and James Clary.